Welcome, brave souls, to Dark Tides, where the shadows of the night come to life and the most terrifying tales lurk just beneath the surface. I am your guide through the darkness, and together we shall explore the bone-chilling depths of the unknown. But be warned, my friends, for the stories you are about to hear are not for the faint of heart. If you dare to join us on this chilling journey, gather your courage and hit that like and subscribe button to ensure you never miss a moment of these spine-tingling tales. And for those of you who are truly fearless, I invite you to join our Telegram group, where you can share your own harrowing stories, read the terrifying experiences of others, and discuss the sinister mysteries that surround us. The link awaits you in the description below. Now, prepare yourselves, for the dark tides are rising, and the hour of horror is upon us. When my sister Betsy and I were kids, our family lived for a while in a charming old farmhouse. We loved exploring its dusty corners and climbing the apple tree in the backyard. But our favorite thing was the ghost. We called her Mother because she seemed so kind and nurturing. Some mornings, Betsy and I would wake up, and on each of our nightstands, we'd find a cup that hadn't been there the night before. Mother had left them there, worried that we'd get thirsty during the night. She just wanted to take care of us. Among the home's original furnishings was an antique wooden chair, which we kept against the back wall of the living room. Whenever we were preoccupied, watching TV or playing a game, Mother would inch that chair forward across the room toward us. Sometimes she'd manage to move it all the way to the center of the room. We always felt sad putting it back against the wall. Mother just wanted to be near us. Years later, long after we'd moved out, I found an old newspaper article about the farmhouse's original occupant, a widow. She'd murdered her 2 children by giving them each a cup of poisoned milk before bed. Then she hung herself. The article included a photo of the farmhouse's living room, with a woman's body hanging from a beam. Beneath her, knocked over, was that old wooden chair, placed exactly in the center of the room. The realization sent a shiver down my spine, and I couldn't help but think about those nights when we found cups on our nightstands. As the years went by, I tried to forget the story, dismissing it as a product of my wild imagination. But the memory lingered, and I couldn't shake the feeling that something darker had been lurking in that house. Recently, Betsy and I decided to visit the old farmhouse, which has since been converted into a bed and breakfast. We thought it would be a fun trip down memory lane, a chance to relive our childhood and see if anything had changed. We booked our stay in the same rooms we had once slept in, hoping to find some sense of closure. As we walked through the front door, the house seemed to have retained its old charm. The living room was still adorned with the same antique furniture, including the wooden chair that we remembered so vividly. Betsy and I exchanged an uneasy glance, but we brushed it off and continued our tour. That evening, after dinner, we gathered in the living room to chat and reminisce about our childhood. The sun had set, casting long shadows across the room, and the old wooden chair seemed to loom ominously in the corner. As we shared stories, we couldn't help but feel a growing sense of unease. It felt as if the room was getting colder, and an unexplained chill ran down our spines. We decided to turn in for the night, hoping to shake off the strange sensation that had taken hold of us. As I lay in bed, I couldn't help but think about the cups that had once appeared on our nightstands. Would they be there again? I drifted into an uneasy sleep, haunted by images of the widow and her murdered children. I was jolted awake by a loud crash that echoed through the house. I sat up, my heart pounding, and looked around the room. There, on my nightstand, was a cup that hadn't been there before. I felt a wave of terror wash over me, but I couldn't bring myself to move. I called out to Betsy in the next room, my voice trembling with fear. She responded, sounding just as terrified as I was. We cautiously stepped out of our rooms, clutching our blankets around us for comfort. We made our way to the living room, guided by the faint moonlight that filtered through the windows. The old wooden chair had moved to the center of the room, just as it had done so many times during our childhood. The crash we had heard was an antique vase that had fallen off a shelf, shattering into 1,000 pieces on the floor. We stared at the scene, our hearts pounding in our chests. Betsy and I knew we couldn't stay in the house any longer. packed our things and left the farmhouse, vowing never to return. As we drove away, I couldn't help but think about the ghost we'd called Mother. She had seemed so kind and nurturing, but the truth was far more sinister. We had been blind to the darkness that lurked beneath the surface. The experience changed us both, and we found it difficult to shake the memories of that night. We were haunted by the realization that the spirit of the widow had been watching over us all those years ago, moving the chair and leaving cups on our nightstands. We couldn't help but wonder if she had been trying to recreate the scene of her terrible crime. As the years went by, we tried to move on from that chilling experience. We built our own lives and families, always keeping a watchful eye on our children as they slept. But every so often, when the shadows grew long and the night was dark, we would remember the old farmhouse and the ghost we had once called Mother. And in those moments, we were reminded that there are some mysteries best left undisturbed. Thank you for joining me on this chilling journey through the shadowy realms of Dark Tides. If you've made it this far, it's clear that you have a taste for the macabre and the mysterious. Be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to Dark Tides, where we delve deeper into the abyss of fear with every episode. But the terror doesn't end here. Join our Telegram group, where you can share your own spine-tingling tales, read other unsettling stories, and engage in haunting discussions with fellow horror enthusiasts. The link is in the description below. Will you be the next to share a true scary story that sends shivers down our spines? Once again, thank you for being a part of Dark Tides. Remember, in the world of horror, there is no escape from the depths of darkness that surround us. Sleep well, my friends, and stay tuned for the next chilling episode of Dark Tides.